Salutations, blessings, and love and light. I am, welcome to my channel if you're new. Thank you for subscribing. And I see that we've got a lot of new subscribers. And for those that have already been on my channel, welcome back. I've been really busy. Those last videos, when I said that the energies really changed, they really were heavy. They were really changing, and I had a lot of people I was helping, and I was spreading myself a little bit thin too. And I am a mother, and I know a lot of things kind of have to be left by the wayside when you deal with family. Especially, I have my hand in a lot of different things with the PTA, and also with a couple of friends of mine that are doing this Dreamweaver Foundation thing out in Arizona, but that's another story. But tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about Bill Cosby. During my ascension process, like I stated in a couple of my videos before, I've always been an intuitive person where I receive visions. And the one vision that I did receive, once I received it, once I knew and heard about all this broke out with this Me Too movement and Bill Cosby and all of these other gentlemen in authority have been out doing what they have been doing, some of us, we have passed judgment in areas where, like we know what's right and we know what's wrong is wrong. And after a while, nobody speaks up. And then when it all comes and falls down, it's like a big, huge tower. But the date I received this vision about Bill Cosby was December 1st. Okay. Bill Cosby, of course, was in prison by this point, September 26th or what have you. Or these, he went to court, or he was actually found or whatever guilty. But they actually put him in jail December 26, 2018, across from the infirmary. Okay, when he first got there. He was not addressed just like anyone else, like Mr. Cosby or anything like that. His inmate number is NN 7687. Yeah, he went to jail September 25th, sentenced 3 to 10 years. His daughter had passed away like earlier in the year from renal disease, renal failure, February 25th. And he had a couple of daughters. And of course, we all know that he had a son, Ennis, who was murdered. But his actual release date would be 2028. Go figure. He's 81 years old now. It's a long time to be in prison for an old man. But on December 1st, I received, upon my awakening, it wasn't a dream. I was actually up, sitting on the side of the bed, and I received the vision. I was standing in a dark room, facing a wall, looking at a thermostat. Room's kind of dim, but I see this thermostat. And so I turn around, and as I turn around, I see a gurney. And as I see the gurney, I walk toward the gurney, and this body appears. And the room is dark, but it was like a coroner's light inside a desk area that was actually on the wall that was kind of shining and reflecting on the gurney. And there was 2 ladies standing around, but they were actually shadows. I can tell that they were ladies. One had short hair and one had long hair. And we all, if you know anything about Bill Cosby and his wife, Camille, she has short hair. And, but I just couldn't see the faces clearly. But as I walked closer to the gurney, I realized that it was the body of Bill Cosby. And it wasn't Bill in old form. When you know about the spiritual realms, and you receive certain visions, they appear in their younger bodies, healed. But he was in younger form, but he was dead on this gurney. And as I continued to look down at the body, at the gurney, I work with energy, so Thoth came into the gurney. He was on the gurney. Man body, very cut, muscular, head like a bird. And he flies off to the right as a phoenix. Now, mind you, my job also is to make sure that I also interpret it correctly with the proper discernment of spirits. And so I kind of been following this Bill Cosby, not by just like on a normal research basis, but of course my algorithm and being shamanic in some areas, it always gravitates back toward me. And so sorry, it's kind of hard sometimes to talk about that, but they eventually put Bill Cosby in general population January 28th. And when they do that, he's also being guided, because he can't see. He's being guided by someone on a normal basis. He doesn't eat with the inmates. He doesn't exercise with the inmates. He stays in his own own personal cell. And he doesn't eat bread anymore or coffee anymore. So he is just changing his whole diet up. But he has also requested not for his family to come and visit him. They live about 25, 30 miles away. But he's just stating that he doesn't want them to come. But during his stay there, he has made some statements as they've asked him, how's his stay there? He's basically stating that the fact that the Marines have trained him for particular times, such as these. And I myself have not served, but I kind of judged for half a second, was like, okay, well, I don't know if that's still the same. I don't know how others would feel even about that have served. I'm not going to judge that. But when he said that, I got that vibe. But later on, a couple of weeks later, he, like not even a couple of weeks, a month later, once he's entered into general population, after he makes those statements, he's threatened by an inmate. Okay. Now the inmate, he's threatened on by February 28th. Okay. Now, mind you, I need to recorrect something, because I might have said 2018 before on something, but it was 2019. But he literally gotten threatened a month after they put him into general population. And the guy that threatened him, and for those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. His name was George Banks. Banks, fall, America, banking system, George, forefathers. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. Anyway, but this guy, George Banks, he killed 5 of his own children, 2 babies, a woman, and a man. I mean, clearly he's deranged and he just don't give a bleep. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. He don't give a shit. Excuse my language. But he just don't care. But it just begalls me. He just, and you know how prisoners are being treated, especially, for sexual assault crimes. You know, these are grown women, though. There's not like they're children and they did not know. And during those particular times, everybody was trying to get into the business, into the industry. Everybody partied a lot. It was during the times of also, of the things that most of us can relate to and those who can't. So I'm not going to speak on a lot of things because I don't know what type of age group I have on my page here, without even putting my own self out. But I'm 50 years old, and I do know a lot of things and have seen a lot of things that are pretty wild and can make a lot of people go crazy if they're not able to harness the information. And but my thing is this: he also made, once he was into general population and he got a wind of this inmate threatening him, he basically started putting money into inmates' accounts for protection. Okay. But he's still scared, of course, because he's thinking that the guards are going to let him in. He's also heard all these other stories stating that the fact that, hey, someone may get let in the middle of the night while he's asleep. So he just really doesn't know. But here's the kicker. He states that he's a political prisoner. He's obviously also made some statements that Black America is really, really upset about. He was a foundational thing that we all had growing up, looking at the Cosby Show. Some of us did not grow up in those types of homes, nor would they have ever thought that they ever would or could go to college and or live like that. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I wasn't as fortunate as some, but I wasn't unfortunate either. But we worked with what we had. It was the 60s and 70s. I grew up with a father that was really militant during those times. He was very stern and a no-nonsense type of a guy. He did a lot of things. He was a mentor in the community. So him stating that he's a political prisoner, and out of Bill O'Reilly, Harvey Weinstein, Charlie Sheen, and Matt Lauer, and the Trump guy, out of all of those, he is the only one that is going to jail at this point. Well, because we don't know what's going on. We can't even put R. Kelly into this right now because those were children and these are grown women from back in the day who clearly are trying to make a point in history and or for whatever reason. Now, I'm not stating that the fact that they have not been violated in such of a way, but to come and put an 81-year-old man in jail for a sexual assault when there have been many, many other races and just any, and I'm not even trying to make it about race, but other people who have literally taken advantage, especially Harvey, taken advantage of people who wanted a dream to become something, to do something, and then his excuse was that the fact that he didn't know it wasn't okay. Like, well, because he grew up in the area of a flower child, he felt like it was something that he can do, and it was okay. Okay. One thing is this, like I'm saying, let me go back to this, of this Me Too movement with this Bill Cosby stating that the fact that he's a political prisoner. him putting money into the accounts, him being afraid. That vision, I don't get those just by chance. And that's the only reason why I have waited so long to put this information out in this video, because you just don't know how people are going to perceive it or receive it. But it has to be done in a correct way. It's going to be very prophetic at this point, because his release date is 2028. He's 81 years old. 91, 92, something, whenever, how many ever years he's 3 to 10. Our American justice system really needs to be looked at. We all need to stand up, take accountability for self, know exactly what parts you've played in every single thing that you felt unjust toward, or done to you, or you have done to anyone. That the fact that, accept that, would analyze it, address it, analyze it, accept the parts that you have played in it, and forgive them, and move on. If you can't forgive them and move on, then that's something that you're going to have to harbor, and you're going to hold and harbor that within your life, that it's going to keep you bound. It's going to keep you bound in such a way that you're going to be like, I don't know how to ascend. I don't know how to move from. You'll become stuck and stagnant. You'll be stagnated, just like static of planets. I'm going to do a video on that. It's going to be called The Cosmic Choir, because that right there, it's about taking self accountability. Wake up. Wake up. All right. That's enough of that rant, because I really had a good day today. But I really, I'm glad that I finally got that out, because that was bugging me for months. It was bugging me for months. And like I said, I got my hands in a lot of different areas. I'm going to be straight up. I live somewhere where I can go and get a medical social club. All right. But that's what I've been trying to do get up a membership club. Also helping and participating, trying to get others to also participate in this Mother Earth tour out in a Dreamweaver tour out in Arizona. There will be some information that I'll be leaving on other videos, but for this particular one, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But again, I do appreciate you taking the time to come to my channel and listen, taking the time out and listen, and keep doing your research for yourself. And for those who have been subscribing, I like to come on when I notice that you have subscribed. I go onto your page, check you out, and I subscribe to your channel, because obviously your algorithm have brought you to me, so that allows me to be able to network with you too. You can always email me at childrenofthesun12 at gmail.com. I also will eventually put a phone number on there that you can contact me. I do already kind of do that with some of my other subscribers, but I'm so busy with them too. But I want to be able to do what I need to do. And but I also, as I'm going to throw this in, because I thought that my journey was going to be a little bit more different than what I thought that I was going, because I was passing in the lessons so fast that because I was already awake as a child in such a way that I already knew. You know what I mean? But I have been led to find missing children. I didn't really understand it at first, but I was the protector of children when I was a young girl in school. And I'm not just meaning just protector of children. When I see you being bullied, I became the bullier's bullier, because if you're going to do that, I need to give you a reason why I'm bullying you at this point, because you don't like it very much. They were bullying. If I saw a kid bullying a disabled kid in in our school, oh, I was the bullier of that bullier. I wouldn't be their actual bullier, but I would just basically, became their protector. But it seemed like it was kind of bullying to them, but it wasn't. But I was protecting them. But in the way, and it became so obvious that to the teachers and the principals, that anytime something would happen, they'd call me. And I'm like, why you keep calling me into the office? But that's another thing too. But I'm so grateful to the elementals and the spiritual ethers and the way shores and the guides and ancestors to be able to help me to be able to do that, and know that and recognize that that was my purpose to do this, alongside, because I'm a Scorpio. I do know that I have been pretty deep for a very long time. Forensics was one of my majors, so I didn't have a fear of the unknowing of the underworld and certain things. But that, and I worked in a lot of the hospitals, was able to see some brain surgeries and heart surgeries and gunshot bullet wounds and all. I'm not gonna go there, but so I'm not afraid of things. But for that particular journey myself, I'm very, very grateful just to be a service of humanity for that particular realm, to be able to find children. I'm trying not to cry. But I thank you all. Like I said before, I thank you all for coming to my channel and subscribing and liking and sharing. I had some other things and other videos that I had received also, but it was about some Holocaust survivors, family members. It was from the realm, spiritual realms, from them. But I'll do another video. But I love you all, and please keep your head up. Stay strong. Drop off from your old self, with all of your old patterns of yourself, things that that no longer serve you. You have no business entertaining that crap, because it doesn't serve you. And the more you entertain it, the more you are brought down into the density of the world, and you living in the world, and you don't get to do any of the things that you want to do, because you keep leading to your own understanding of things and not believing in certain things, that just being limiting yourself, limiting your mind. I'm trying not to offend, but just limiting yourself. As long as you continue to stay in a limited mind of thinking, be limitless, and know that the fact that things work out for the greater good, and it's about timelessness. It's not going to work out the when you want it to, but the energies are coming pretty fast. So you may, but as far as karma, they're going to come. So you make sure that you treat people the way that you want to be treated. You treat them very well. Treat them with love, compassion, and kindness. As above, so below. As without, so within. Follow some of those universal frequencies, some of those universal laws. If you follow at least 10 to 12 of them, you would at least be able to and practice them on a daily basis, and do certain things for yourself. You'll be able to, they'll eventually fall away. You won't even think about that crap, and that negative stuff won't even come towards you. The people won't even come towards you. You'll feel a whole lot better. Now, I love you. Thank you. God bless.